And though in your position you had salary, at that in that other position you were able to work overtime, which was a huge factor in our ability to save and to acquire more funds. Oh my gosh. Anyways, hi guys, it's Sarah and
Aaron. Hey guys.
Welcome back to today's video. So today we wanted to do somewhat of a helpful video that basically sharing something that we've learned from, and that is how we save for our house, and that's our first house. Like I said before, some of these videos will include the little one, and she's here right now, so I hope you guys are okay with that and you can't hear her.
Yeah, she's teething, guys.
Today's topic is going to be how we saved for a house in a year. What was the total that we saved? 15,000?
Yeah, about 15,000.
So how we saved $15,000 in a year. And I don't know if that's a lot, because when I did look up this topic, I did see that, and I guess it all depends on where you live, right? In certain places, like the down payment is much more significant. In other places, it's not so much. So it all depends on where you live. So we are Canadian. We live in Canada. And so obviously, when we did save the whole $15,000, that was pertaining to our starter home, meaning it's not a really big home, but it was our starter home nonetheless. And we saved for it $15,000 to be able to put down as our down payment. So when we first started, when we decided to buy a home, or the idea even popped into our heads, what did we do?
We started putting aside an RRSP, right?
Yeah, but at first we didn't know. We were starting to save a little bit on our own, and we thought we had enough. And then we went to the bank, and that's when we learned basically how much we really had to have, and we realized, oh, okay. So they basically shared with us the strategy that, you know, you could use an RSP to save. First-time home buyers, when they do go to use the money out of their RSP, like they have, what is that? You don't have to pay interest? Or is it?
Yeah, it's interest-free, tax-free.
It's interest-free. So that's what we did initially. But that's only one aspect of it, right? You're told that this is a strategy, but then it's like, how do you save when things are tight?
Things weren't super tight when we lived before our first home. Were they really that?
Well, I mean, like, it's not, okay, so things weren't necessarily super tight, but they were tight enough in the fact that when you're renting for someone else, you're paying, you know what I mean? You're paying the rent, you're paying their hydro, you're paying for everything. So when we did own our first home, it was, the mortgage was the
exact same.
Yeah, so it was cheaper, but the property tax bumped it up a little bit. Yeah, so things weren't necessarily as tight, but they were. It's just different when you do, like I said, you're already paying for all this other stuff. Most people, that's the struggle factor, right? It's like, how do we go from not being able to save really to being able to save for the down payment? Right. So that was a bit tougher. It was initially kind of tough for us, but I would think the key thing for us was that we made a budget and we stuck with it. So we knew how much we wanted to put aside each month.
Yeah.
And that kind of left us with what we had after the core things were taken care of, like paying our rent, paying our car insurance, and all those other things, right?
Yeah.
This thing now became a part of the budget, and we had to budget this set amount every month to put into our RSP for savings.
Yep.
So did it leave things a little bit tighter on the other end? Kind of, because then we didn't get to go on a vacation that year.
No. No, we didn't. Sorry, 2014 was the last vacation we went, right? We went to Alabama.
Yeah.
I think. 2014?
Yeah.
Was that the last time? That was the last time we went.
On like a formal vacation?
A formal vacation. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, no. I mean, when we were pregnant, we got to go on a vacation, but it wasn't like traveling a far vacation.
Yeah, so we had to give up vacation, and I had to give up my super expensive hobbies.
You're so... Why would you say that?
I don't have any super expensive hobbies, guys.
Anyways, so the whole point was, like, things that we did, we couldn't just go out and spend money.
No, we couldn't eat out.
We couldn't. We did eat out. We had it in the budget where we did it like once every other week.
Well, the girls were still eating. They were still getting pizza every Friday night.
No, it wasn't every Friday. It was every other Friday.
Oh.
Yeah.
every other
So
Friday.
we have this thing in our house where the kids loved pizza, and we had pizza night every Friday night, but we couldn't do it like that. We were doing it every other Friday, and
Mm-hmm.
instead of having like a whole, I don't know, a whole like arrangement of pizzas, sometimes we only did the one as like a little bit of a treat.
Right.
Another thing that we tended to do a lot was go to the movies, and we couldn't do that.
Oh yeah.
That was probably one of the biggest things that did take a hit
Yeah, we used
too.
to go to the movies all the
We
time,
go to the movies like every,
and we dropped
not
like
every
80
Tuesday.
bucks
Yes,
every time we
because
went to the movies.
the movies is expensive for a
So expensive
family
for a family of
of five at the time.
5. Yeah.
And yeah, we weren't able to do that, which was fine. We could rent because we own a lot of movies, so we could rent, we could watch stuff at home.
That's right. Yeah.
But what's another thing that you think helped us to save it? I would also say another
Um,
tip is like when in the midst of saving, the I guess the cool thing about having the RSPs is that you couldn't go back and take it out.
that's true, right? You can't. Yeah, you can't. It's not like a savings account.
No, because I think with a
It's true.
savings account, you can sometimes
That's a good point.
gather the idea that, oh, like,
I needed the money
I
now.
needed the money, or maybe I'll
Yeah.
borrow it and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
But we weren't able to do that with an RSP. So that was the
No,
cool
you
thing,
can't.
is
Yeah.
that it was left there and we had no option but to only use it when we went to go buy our house.
That's right. That's right. So there you have it, guys. That's a really good tactic if you're really really dedicated to buying a house.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I came across some other ones. I guess there are simple ones out there. People are saying to borrow money, but I mean, ideally, I know there are people who do that, but the whole point of the matter is you should try on your own
Yeah.
to save. And you just have to be mindful. You can't do the things that you were doing before. If you have like, you were able to just run and buy, I don't know, the latest whatever fashion or certain things, sometimes you're gonna have to kind of cut that, right?
Yeah.
You kind of have to do, because
gotta-
you can't have it both ways.
It's hard. It's hard, especially in Toronto area. Like buying a house, it's expensive.
It is super expensive.
So expensive these days. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And even then, after the market's gone down. But if you're dedicated and you really want it,
You can
you can get it for
you
sure.
can work, yeah, you have to work hard in certain aspects. You have to, some places you have to work 2 jobs. I know, I guess for us too, I feel like this is a key factor that we did not mention, but though and Aaron is obviously an engineer, and though in your position you had salary, at that in that other position you were able to work overtime, which was
Oh
a
yeah.
huge factor
Yeah.
in our ability to save
Yeah.
and to acquire more funds. I know that there's a suggestion out there is for some people to just get a second job to help.
That's basically what it was, right?
It is, right?
It's like a second job at my job.
Yes, because if you didn't do that at the time, I don't think we
No.
would have been able to save what we saved.
No. I don't think so.
No.
That's a good point. That's a very good point in our situation.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't the case, I'd probably get a second job if I had to.
And I mean, I would have too if I had to get
no,
a job
yeah,
too.
like we're not. I'm not saying that she can't get a second job if she wants to,
But yeah,
but it's really,
but
she's with the children, especially at that time.
Yeah.
The children were still pretty young, right? Charlotte was like 7, 8,
yeah.
right?
So money is definitely a key factor in it all. Like, I mean, yeah, we're trying to save money here, but if you don't have enough of it, I can totally understand in certain situations where people can't really save, or they don't have enough to save.
I get it.
Because the thing is, when you don't own a home and you're renting, rent is often more expensive. I think a lot of people don't realize that, or there are people who do know that they're paying a lot more for rent, and if they did own a property of their own, their rent could actually be cheaper. But the reality is the down payment is actually hard for people to come by, because that's the toughest part to acquire. You have to save to get it. You have to,
Yeah.
or you have to somehow come by this money to pay down on a house, and that's huge. But once you have that, once you're in, it's such a big blessing, because here we are talking about our starter home, but we're currently living in our second home, which our starter home helped us to get
To
into.
buy, yeah.
Right? You gain equity in your home,
Yeah.
especially, if you're living in a market the market is variable. It can do all types of things. It can go down, it can go up, but in our
Yeah.
case, we did buy at the right times, which helped us to acquire a good deal of equity, which helped us to get into our current home. Now we'll do another series of another part of the video just talking about even our home at the current moment. There are things that we like, it is just the bones at the current moment. We bought it as is, and Aaron's been doing a great job at fixing up little things here along the way. But we have big plans for this house, but we can't do it all at once because
No.
once again, money is always a factor. Unless you're super rich and born into riches,
Or you want to go into a lot of debt,
or if you wanted to go into a lot
which
of
we
debt,
don't.
yeah, you have to do things in a timely fashion. And so we can do a video talking about that, but I
Yeah.
definitely wanted to share with you guys, just for those of you who might have the desire to want to buy a home of your own, or you're just concerned, or you're wondering how you can save. Maybe some of the tips or some of the tricks that we use can actually help you, come buy your first home. So
That's
thank
right.
you for watching. You have anything else to say, or is that?
I'm just thinking that, don't be afraid of debt when it comes to a home, because
Yeah,
it's good debt, because it'll appreciate,
that's true.
right?
That's true. Equity is good long
Equity
term.
is good. And it's just like school debt, right?
Yeah,
You go to school because you're going to make more money than you're going to owe
in the long term.
in the long
And I
term.
think that's a whole other topic as well that we could talk about, because it's not always the case for a lot of people. There are a lot of people who go.
That's a good
And
point.
so
That's a good point,
I think
right?
a house is
Here I am talking
more
generally,
of
but
a asset.
it's an asset.
School debt isn't an asset. You know what I mean? It is an investment,
It's an
long
investment,
term,
yeah.
but at the same time, people have invested, and it all depends on what you're investing in. You got to do your research to know what you're investing in
That's
and
true.
what the outcome of that investment is, because we do know of people who've invested a ton into
Underwater basket
education.
weaving.
Underwater.
Underwater basket weaving.
Yeah,
But
and it
it
didn't.
doesn't pay off all the time.
It doesn't always pay off.
Yeah. So
So
that's true. That's a good point.
yeah.
Not to discriminate against underwater basket weavers, but it's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky,
It's tricky.
right?
So hope you guys enjoy this little mini video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any further questions that you want Aaron and I to answer, leave a comment down below, and we will definitely try to do a video on that subject matter.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And if you have any questions in general that we didn't
cover
yeah.
in this one. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hi guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to join the tribe. Subscribe.